Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome here to this webinar on Vio Travel. So as Anna already mentioned, we are a DMC for the Asia Pacific region. Just to give you some background on the company, Vio Travel was founded in 2020, so only 6 years ago. We had a very tough start because the time when we founded was during COVID times. But then after borders slowly opened up again, we have been able to service clients throughout 15 destinations in the Asia and Pacific region. Now in 2026, the team in destination with our travel specialists and destination experts have been growing already to 120 members. So we have staff on the ground in those destinations. For your information also, we have offices, entities throughout different countries. So the head office for Vio Travel is Hong Kong. Then we have an operations office in Bangkok, Thailand. We have another entity in Singapore, and we are currently in the stage of opening the next entity in the Philippines. Just to give you some information on the demographics of our clientele. Currently, we handle about, I would say, it's a good mix between Australia, Europe, and US market, sharing approximately 25% of the overall business for those markets. And then we have other smaller markets which make up the rest. So what's Vio Travel? What we think we are specializing in is pretty much in tailor-made travel throughout the countries that we offer. We appear as a one-stop service for various destinations, meaning if you inquire for a combination of, say, Thailand and Indochina, you would deal only with one travel specialist who would then curate the respective itinerary for you. Going through the presentation, I have prepared a couple of slides just to demonstrate a little bit about our philosophy and where we are coming from. So as I mentioned, myself and Michael Linden-Bell, we have founded a company 6 years ago, but both of us have a combined experience in the region, working for various travel companies and DMCs, I would say altogether now for nearly 50 years. So Michael is based out of Sydney. I'm in Bangkok, so it makes perfectly sense to cover both of those areas, since we also offer Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji, and then most of the other destinations are in the nearer, closer to Bangkok. We have just dropped one of our destination, which was UAE. Reason for that is it's not a destination where we specialize so much in. However, we have often served Dubai or Abu Dhabi as a stopover for clients traveling into Asia. However, a lot of partners have wondered whether we want to further explore the Middle Eastern part, and we have decided our focus will be fully on Asia and Pacific, and therefore we are very soon launching a new destination, which will be Taiwan, which is very much a complement to the destinations like Korea and the Philippines, as well as Japan, where we do see a lot of combined inquiries already. So our philosophy around what we offer in terms of the services as well as the products is very much a curated product portfolio with a wide range of unique experiences, as well as highlighting a lot of accommodations options that are representing local style. I will show a little bit more later on once we go into our platform, which is the big differentiator, which can also make your life a lot easier, but we will come to that in a minute. Here we just have again the destinations that we cover at this point. It's also important to mention where our expertise sits. So it's, I would say, very much around FIT, bespoke, tailor-made inquiries for all the destinations that are here in front of you. And over the years, we also have developed specialized departments handling ad hoc leisure groups, as well as group series, and as well educational groups that are handled from our side in various of our destinations. Where we don't specialize is an area like MICE, incentives. That's not who we are. Our focus is really on those segments just highlighted earlier. So what makes us different? I would say, again, it's the one-stop service that we provide across 15 destinations. From the North American market, we handle a lot of bookings which involve 4 or 5 destinations. So it makes it quite easy for the tour operator just to work with one person curating the itinerary throughout those 5 destinations in the same way, around the same style of properties, and including and having really a good understanding what the client needs. Then, of course, I would also like to highlight the expert advice and the operational excellence that we provide. So what we do is we connect with every single guest in destination. Once they arrive into the country, we welcome them on your behalf, and we check throughout their journey whether everything is fine and they are enjoying their time. We are in close contact with our local suppliers and guides, ensuring a seamless experience. Then I think maybe the biggest differentiator, and we will come to that in a minute, is our innovative B2B booking platform, which would allow you to quote a Japan itinerary within less than 20 minutes. But this, let me present that shortly through the system. And another focus that we have is very much on sustainability. So we have just been granted by a network called Preferred by Nature for sustainability accreditation. So that has happened over the past year in our in destination Indonesia. So our team has worked closely with all the suppliers and in various perspectives of the business and ensuring we are operating according to their guidelines. And then the booking platform. So I would say we are now swapping from the presentation straight into our B2B portal, and I believe you are able to see the screen now.
Yes,
so
we can.
Everybody, sorry?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. This is a pure B2B portal, and we can share later with you the details how to register on our B2B portal. Then once you have been approved, this is where you access, and then this gives you your profile. On the main page, we feature a lot of packages throughout our destinations. So whether that be unique hotels, which we work closely with, or which we highly recommend, short break packages, island hopping tours, family travel, as well as honeymoon packages, and so on. So you will see here on the portal a lot of pre-created packages that our destination experts have put together. So for example, we have here a very nice Japan tour. You can see it gives you a nice overview on the services that are included. And for instance, if I would like to get a price for the exact same tour, I could just click here on customize it and enter a new travel period. So I just pick 21st of May, click search, and then it gives you the overview again, and I could also make some changes. So I could also increase the number of nights in Hiroshima to 2, and maybe reduce a night in Kyoto. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. Kyoto requires at least 3 nights, but that's possible. So we can go here with 4 nights in Kyoto and increase to 2 nights in Hiroshima, for instance. Once we click on continue, the system will take the exact same itinerary, check availability, and give you a new price. And that takes less than a minute. So let's see what comes up. Everything that you see is a live inventory. I would say 99% of the services are on free sale. And if they are on request, that is highlighted in the portal. Okay, first of all, when we do a refresh and we select a new period, the system will give us some notification on the services which are unavailable or which may be changed. However, we can always select different times on the trains. So everything starts always with the transport. So for example, from Hakone to Kyoto, we can go through the available times, and then we can just pick, let's say, usually a good time is around noon, arriving at 2:15 in Kyoto. That is then the perfect time for check-in. Also with the trains in Japan, you can see we have here the standard fare, but usually, you know, a 5-star client is always opting for the green car service. So I would select here 12:05, and then the timing is updated in the itinerary. We would do that exactly the same throughout all the sectors, where we then pick the respective time we like to propose. So for instance, here 10:45, arrival 12:30 is good, and then I update that. Once all the transports have been sorted, we can straight move forward to the accommodation. Accommodation, as you can see, all the hotels that I had selected in the beginning are still available. It clearly shows you the room types, the location, the meal plan. But if I would like to get more information on a respective property, I can click here on See Options. And then within See Options, it gives you a nice overview of the property. Here you even have the rating of the properties based on different portals, and then the average of those portals. Sometimes we also have TripAdvisor listed, so it would be a combination of 3. In this case, it's only Booking and Expedia, and then our rating would be 9.5 coming out of those 2 portals. Then below you can see the available room types, and for instance, if you like to see images of the room, you just click here. So then it gives you a more detailed overview of the room type with the features and the size. Here you always see the supplement for the respective room type, but I'm okay with the suite with hot spring bath. In this case, it's a very nice room, so I keep that, and I just go back to the hotel segment. I go through the hotels, and for instance, maybe I want to upgrade here the Morgana, which is a very nice boutique hotel, 4-star, maybe to a 5-star. So I just click here on 5-star and filter the options. Yeah, what you see here in terms of price is always a plus to what's quoted currently. So upgrading to the Dusit Thani in Kyoto would be an additional $738. Yeah, Hilton Kyoto, quite reasonable, 314, deluxe room with breakfast. So I go with that one. And yeah, for the accommodation, it would be the same principle throughout all destinations that appear in the itinerary. Then under experiences, we are able to add various experience that we showcase. So you see here so many different options. What we offer is we have a lot of private options, whether that be fully private guided with vehicle. As you know, these type of tours are quite expensive in Japan, but for instance, here, this is also a very good choice. It's a Mount Fuji Hakone full day tour, and it's operated by English-speaking driver only, so that the driver is the sort of guide. Yeah, so that's a more affordable option than going with guide and vehicle. But we offer anything from small group tours, from hands-on sport master classes, cooking courses, from small group up to private luxury. It really depends what the client is looking for. Yeah. If you browse through here, you will see various activities and experiences being available. You can also search for respective experiences. So for instance, sumo, and then we have here the respective sumo experiences that would be available during the requested period. So if somebody wants to go to an official tournament, we can look here at the options, and then we see here it's a C-class ticket, what's included, what is not included, where would be the meeting point, and so on. So everything is clearly defined. And then on the final page, once we have also included all the experiences, we can add on the airport transfers, and then we have, I would say, a complete Japan itinerary ready. For your information, once you have put together a quotation, you are able to add on your commission or margin here under agency information, and then the pricing is done including your margin. Once you are registered as a company, once you generate the quotation will come up with your own branding, and there is no reference to Vio Travel at all. So for example, I have added now the 20% commission. As you have seen, the price increased by $1,800. That would be your commission. And then final selling price would be $4,524 per person. I saved this idea. I can also change here the cover picture, can go through maybe the most stunning hotel images or anything I like to add as a front cover. So in that case, I would maybe just go with a nice Tokyo image. If you want to add some additional remarks, you can do that over here. But this is how the itinerary or the quote would be displayed. Once I'm saving this here, and you can also change the title, you know, with reference to a booking number or a request number or the client name, that's all possible. Once I click save, I can close here, and once I click here on print, I can get a complete PDF version of the quotation, which then can be forwarded to the end client with your respective branding. Yeah, so once you are registered, this here would be replaced with your own logo and with your company information. Then the client would get an itinerary with a map, then a shorter itinerary with the services each day, and then a more comprehensive, more detailed itinerary down below. However, if this is looking a little bit too challenging for you in the beginning, we of course also support inquiries through email. So we can just give you the respective travel specialist in each destination, and then they would tailor the quote for you. Our turnaround times on inquiries is usually 24 hours. For FIT inquiries, that's the standard. The benefit when you are sending a request to our specialists is definitely that they have the know-how in the destination. However, maybe somehow some requests can be quite straightforward. It could be just an inquiry for, let's say, and we can build this now from scratch. So let me just do another quote to show you how easy it would be. So if we do a quote, let's say Bangkok 3 nights, and then Phuket 5 nights, plus Singapore 2 nights, you can do this within less than 15 minutes. That for sure. I just always want to highlight that we have a lot of great travel specialists in the destination. So when you are sending them an email with a brief description of what your client is looking for, they will immediately come back to you with an offer. But now we are here. So let me show you how quickly we can put together such quote. First of all, it starts also again with the transport. Earlier it was mostly trains because we were looking at Japan. Now we are traveling from Bangkok to Phuket, then further to Singapore. So that would be flights only. However, if there was, let's say, a PP Island included, you will also see the respective boat options coming up. So there is really no limitation in putting together a rather complex quote as well. So once I click on more options, what I like to see is, let's say, only Thai Airways and Bangkok Airways flights, because Thai Airways is the national carrier, Bangkok Airways is a boutique airline, and with any fare they offer, the 20 kilo are included already. So as you can see, there's also a lot of low-cost carriers coming up. Sometimes they can't be avoided. So for instance, on routes like Chiang Mai to Phuket, most of the flights are operated by AirAsia, so we need to use them. However, where it's possible to avoid, I would always go with the more premium carriers. So in that case, Bangkok to Phuket, Bangkok Airways. You see what's included. You have a promo fare, but the promo fare already includes the 20K G luggage. And then from Singapore to Phuket, Singapore, sorry, I would go here with Singapore Airlines. Once the flights are sorted, and you may wonder, I want to book the flights myself and I don't really want you to handle this, you can always disable the flights over here. Yeah, so if you want to disable the flights completely and just quote the land services, they can be always disabled over here. Then accommodation, more or less the same concept as we have seen earlier. So now I only want to see 5-star hotels in Bangkok. I'm having a look what style or what location or what budget my client has. A hotel that we often sell, for instance, is Kimpton Malai. So I go with that. And then I choose in Phuket, for instance, I already have the property in mind. So it should be Twin Palms. It was coming up. So coming here, select the Palm Deluxe room, click select, and then in Singapore, I want to go with Marina Bay Sands. So looking at the different room types that are available. And then I choose the premium room with bed and breakfast. Also, I think I didn't mention that earlier. The cancellation policies, they are always clearly stated under each room type. So for instance, here, once we click on view conditions, you clearly see until when the rooms can be canceled. And then again, it would be just an experience to include. Maybe Phuket is just like a beach stay, but they want to do a full day tour in Bangkok. So what we can recommend is, for example, a visit to the reclining Buddha as well as the Grand Palace, a half-day tour where they also experience a monk chant. And then you see here you have the different guide languages available. You just pick the date. Time is always 8 AM because the monk chant happens very early in the morning. So this experience must be done at that time. And then, yeah, summary, we are adding on the final transfers in each location. You can already enter the flight details if you have, otherwise you can just take something randomly because it's just quotation stage. But yeah, I think that shows such not so complex quotation would take maybe yeah, 10 to 15 minutes, and you are able to present a quote to your client. So I have now talked a lot. Perhaps there are some questions around the platform, the business, and so on. So I'm happy to answer your questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Dominic, for your presentation and for demonstrating how to work around this amazing platform. I encourage all the travel advisors that we have connected today to type your questions on the control panel on your right, as we will start answering any doubt, any question you may have for Dominic. So the first question we have already for you, Dominic. What about groups, or are you strictly individuals?
No, I think I mentioned it earlier. Where we really are strong at is groups in general, ad hoc groups, but more leisure groups. We are not MICE or incentive. That's not who we are. But anything leisure group wise is definitely part of our expertise. We handle also some group series from the US market, so we are experienced in handling large groups and more frequent groups into certain destinations.
Thank you. Then the second question we have from Susan. She says, I see all US pricing. Is it possible to set up the platform or the platform in Canadian or in other? Yeah, you are showing us right now. Okay, so we can set up in any in euros. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. We also have a Canadian dollar bank account. So whatever is quoted in Canadian dollar can be then also paid to a Canadian dollar bank account.
Awesome. We have another question from Laura. What is the ground support like in Japan? Does Vio Travel have offices there?
Yeah, we have people on the ground. So we have a team of, right now, our Japan team is about 25 staff. And we have various local suppliers that we work together with. So not every service is operated by Vio Travel. So we don't have our own fleet, but the whole operation of each file or each booking is controlled by us. Japan, in fact, is our largest destination right now. This is where we where 30% of our overall volume sits, and we handle anything from ad hoc groups, group series, FIT leisure to FIT luxury throughout Japan.
Cool. In fact, we have a travel advisor sharing with us that their clients, if going to destinations that are like those in Asia, they will go only with her as a host. And this is something very common. And we also have some travel advisors that they are like putting together a trip and launching the idea, rolling the idea away to their clients, and they are making or creating their own group. So is there any like tour contractor a rate or any discount for travel advisors leading a group or traveling with their own clients? How do you handle that?
Usually we would quote like an FOC for the group organizer, you know, so everything is covered with bed, but you know, I think this really depends on a case by case how it supposed to be handled from the person in charge. All I can say, we are very flexible with that, you know, so I think it's better just have a conversation about it, and then we will find a solution.
Okay, but is there any minimum in terms of quantity of people or quantity of rooms to offer an FOC?
Just to give you an example, I think we have a group upcoming from Canada, the early March into Thailand. The group was featured for 15 packs. In the end, the tour leader was only able to get 5 participants. So we had to look what we can do, because of course group size is a lot smaller than expected. But in the end, we found a solution, and the group is now traveling, you know. So I think this is really a case by case thing. From our side, we always be as flexible as possible, and yeah, it's really hard to say now without really seeing the details in front of me.
Okay, so we will analyze case by case, and we encourage travel advisors to give Vio Travel a try and contact them anytime you have a booking request for any of the destinations that they handle. Then we have another question from Yvonne. She's looking to do a group with Korea and Japan. Do you have operations in Korea?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, right now, this is one of the hottest products on the European market. A combination of Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Seoul. It's like a 11-12-day itinerary, and this season it's been really the most sold product overall.
Okay. Will you be in Thailand the week of March 15-25?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay. I will make you an introduction with a travel advisor who will be in Bangkok during that period of time. So you can meet with her in person there. Okay. So that's amazing.
Great.
Another question for the platform. So you said that there will be like a password or a username and password. Is that for the travel agency, or it's one password per travel advisor? How does it work?
So first of all, you all may ask where to register. So I now went to our main website, so it's vio.travel, and once you click here on the login, you can register your company. Yeah.
Okay.
Not login, I think it's here. It's the sign up. Yeah. So once you click on the sign up, you just register here a new agency. If we have multiple users from the same agency, then it's best to register them all under the same agency. So we have one master account, and then we can have multiple users under one company.
Okay.
But we can also, our team can also support. So Anna, if maybe one company has like 10 different users, they can send the inquiry to you, and then we are creating their account as well. We are also happy to help with that.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So we don't have any other question on the control panel right now. Just as a friendly reminder to all the attendees, all the travel advisors connected today, by the end of this week, please check your inbox or spam folder, as we will be sending you this webinar recording, the presentation from Vio Travel. Vio Travel also contact information, so you can start sending them your booking requests or your leads for any of the 15 destinations that they handle. And of course, if you need to schedule a one-on-one or a deeper training, or you want to schedule a meeting with Dominic or someone on his team, we are more than happy to facilitate that. So don't hesitate to contact me or anyone at the Merging Destinations, and we will schedule that for you. So that is all on my side. I will now give you or leave with you, Dominique, the last few minutes for you just to wrap up and finish this webinar.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I just would like to thank you for joining this webinar. I hope it was interesting, and I hope the platform is somehow something that makes your life a little bit easier when curating those trips into Asia and the Pacific. We believe it's a great tool, and in addition to the service we provide with our team, but also don't forget the 24/7 support that we as well provide in destination on the ground to your guest, is something that that creates a great travel experience, and that's our aim, to have seamless experiences of our common guest in destination, so they are coming back and exploring further countries with your support and our expertise in the respective destinations. So yeah, thank you very much. If you require a more detailed presentation on the platform, we also can set up some one-on-one sessions. So we have some trainers in-house who can give you a bit more detailed presentation on all the features. Given time was limited today, I had to run through it quite quickly, but I wanted to give you a good overview what's available. That reminds me, here you see we have been just using the multi-destination booking engine, but here you can just search for hotel accommodation only. I believe it's quite straightforward, so you can just enter the destination and then the respective travel period, and then you will get the rates for the hotels in Bangkok. The same applies for the experiences, and as well you can also just book airport transfers or transfers from port to hotels in Tokyo, Yokohama, in Bali, as round trip or one way. So that's all available here on the platform as well. So like I said, we are more than happy to provide a more detailed presentation on the platform and all the features. But hopefully what I had presented to you over the past 30 minutes was already quite exciting, and you know, you are signing up and you will be exploring a little bit of the platform yourself, as well as maybe start putting together some itineraries. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dominique. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Bye.
Bye.